Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. Well, we're back to talk about this Andy Cohen interview. This was really interesting. He was interviewed by Chris Wallace. It was a little cringe. I thought it was a great interview. Jason and I sat there and watched it, and Andy kind of looked extremely uncomfortable. Plus, Chris was asking him, "Are you embarrassed by what you do?" I mean, I don't think he's embarrassed by the checks there, Chris Wallace, but we'll break into all of it. Now, before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I also posted we are going live tomorrow with Emily D. Baker at 3:30 p.m. Eastern because the Grizzlies are officially turning themselves into prison tomorrow. So we're going to break down what that looks like, what the road ahead looks like, and how they even got here in the first place. So with that, smash that like button, get subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys. So Chris Wallace interviewed Andy Cohen, and he asked him about a lot of things, including Housewives, CNN's New Year's Eve no drinking policy, his thoughts on Prince Harry's memoir. Like, he just went down the line. And again, I thought it was a very, I just thought it was a great interview. I like seeing Andy sort of in the hot seat because normally he's the one who gets to put everyone else in the hot seat. So when we get to see him in the hot seat, I really appreciate these moments. Now, the Real Housewives franchise continues to expand and grow and make stars out of women acting unhinged for Bravo cameras. But we guess we shouldn't count Chris Wallace among its fans. Now, this is coming from 2fab.com. Thank you so much for mentioning it all. In a recent sit-down interview with Andy Cohen, the former Fox News personality, now working with HBO and CNN on Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, didn't seem impressed with the franchise. I mean, who cares? Because everyone's saying Chris Wallace's talk show's ratings are low. But hold on. I'm not taking sides as of yet. Hold on. He had his team compile some outrageous Real Housewives moments, including one where Teresa Giudice pushes Andy Cohen. Wallace then followed it up by asking Andy Cohen if this is low-hanging fruit we're talking about here. Andy Cohen obviously said it's all good and he loves the show. I could watch those clips forever. So he is proud. I mean, he should be proud. First of all, you're asking someone who built franchises. He's the executive producer of over multiple franchises, different Housewives shows. We have Southern Charm, we have Summer House, we have Vanderpump Rules. We have so many different shows, right? Under the Bravo umbrella. Now we're expanding into Peacock, a streaming service. He still has Watch What Happens Live. I don't understand necessarily putting him in a hot seat with the way that or how much he's collecting as far as money and asking, are you embarrassed? I don't get that. I think that's a complete reach, but okay. After poking at Andy Cohen's book titles like Superficial and a deep look at a shallow year, Wallace asked him, are you at all embarrassed by what you do? This is clearly coming from someone who's never seen Andy Cohen in action. I agree with 2Fab, and certainly not during those reunion shows or even his own Watch What Happens Live. Andy Cohen lives for this drama. He revels in it. No, I'm really not, because it makes so many people happy. And he shot back at Chris Wallace, but he kind of came off like he had a little bit of an attitude. But when you ask somebody, are you embarrassed by the legacy that you've created? It's kind of like a diss. He compared it to his childhood watching soap operas, which he called the great escape for me. Even as scripted soaps faded from television airwaves, his unscripted soaps seemed to be getting bigger and bigger and more successful by the year. Andy Cohen acknowledged that the Housewives shows can be really confrontational and difficult at times, but he also argued that in it is great moments. It's about being a wife and a mother and a sister and a friend and a whole lot more. So why he's defending this, I'm not sure. I guess it's because of his it's his baby. I would not defend. I would just be like, what are the ratings on your show, Chris Wallace? So yes, there's all that, and there's a whole lot more. And I think, by the way, if it was only that, it would still be good for Andy Cohen. But he said, I don't think it would still be on the air, and we wouldn't have 10 going. It's very funny. It's very funny how he's clapping back with this, but it is a clapback. We have 10 franchises going. It's still on the air. What do you have to say about that, Chris Wallace? And what are the ratings of your own show? As it turns out, Wallace had seen a full season of The Real Housewives of New York City because he personally knew several members of the cast. And Andy Cohen admitted that he got a little defensive, thinking Wallace was coming at him, having never ever seen the show. The two also discussed the no drinking policy over at CNN for Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen on their New Year's Eve coverage, which Andy admitted they found frustrating. I mean, we were very annoyed because we felt like they were saying to us, you're not capable of drinking responsibly. That's what he told Chris Wallace. Did you watch your performance from the year before? Wallace replied, Andy Cohen had previously admitted that the rule came down because of how he was coming down on New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. Andy Cohen defended himself, though, saying that Bill de Blasio was the safest target, but Wallace asked him if maybe CNN was being reasonable and not wanting a television executive hammered on live television. The pair also tackled the royal uproar surrounding Prince Harry's spare memoir and his accompanying press tour. Andy Cohen wouldn't answer if he thought Harry and Meghan Markle had become a bore, but he did say that he thinks that they're cashing out with the book, joking that it's expensive to live in Montecito. Which it is, but they're cashing out with the book, the podcast, the docuseries on Netflix, the Oprah interview. They're cashing out on a lot. He did question if there was a way for him to discuss his brother, Prince William, without torching the bridge. Andy Cohen did get a chance to turn the tables on Wallace when the latter asked about his WWHL, Watch What Happens Live, game Plead the Fifth, as covered by Mediate. After explaining how it worked, Wallace asked him what questions Andy Cohen would give him. Who's the most full of crap person on Fox News? Andy Cohen asked with almost no hesitation, and he followed it up with favorite and least favorite Mike Wallace interview of all time and why. And what is the biggest lie someone that you're interviewing has ever told you? While Wallace didn't play completely, saying he couldn't answer the first question, he did share that his least favorite Mike Wallace interview was with Barbra Streisand when he made her cry by telling her her mother said that she didn't have time for her. So at least he got the opportunity to turn the tables. I do appreciate that. Ultimately, the two seem to get along just fine, and Andy Cohen fans know he can snap at you in one moment and be fine with you the next. That is the beauty. That is Andy Cohen. As they discuss parenthood and their careers, Andy Cohen even invited him to guest on Watch What Happens Live. If that happens, maybe Wallace will really face a game of Plead the Fifth. Those questions, per Cohen, were off the top of his head, so they'd surely be even more brutal if the team had time to prepare. Now, we know that Who's Talking to Chris Wallace is already out. If you guys haven't checked out the interview, definitely go check it out. It's a must watch. I thought it was hilarious, but let us know what you think. And in the meantime, do you think Andy Cohen's embarrassed about what he does? I'm leaning with no. So go ahead and comment below. And also don't forget, we are going live with Emily D. Baker tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern to cover the Grizzlies going to prison. We will be talking about all of it, but I love you guys. Happy Monday, and let's kick this week's ass. Bye, guys.